All right, let's go ahead and get started, guys. Why don't we start out in a constructive rest? So if you have a blanket, you're welcome to use one. So if you want to put it like underneath your shoulders, you could. You could cover up with it. You could lay it across your whole mat so it's a little bit warmer. And then for your legs, they can just be long with the feet open. Corpse pose. Maybe you like the bolster underneath your knees. Maybe you bend your knees and just keep the soles of the feet on the mat. Whatever feels best in your body. Take some time to figure out what that position is. Okay, no problem. Allow yourself time to settle in. Maybe closing the eyes if you're comfortable with that. Maybe just keeping the gaze soft. You're welcome to use your eye pillow at any point. Do you want one, Barb? Begin to notice the surface beneath you. Maybe temperatures and textures, sounds. Checking in with yourself, your breath. This practice is designed to support rest. We will stay in each shape for several minutes, allowing the body to fully relax and settle in. So just remember, there's nothing to push, there's nothing to achieve. Each pose should feel supported and effortless. You might feel deep stretches, new feelings or sensations. What we don't want is ripping, tearing, too fast, too far, too much. So just make sure you're constantly checking in, listening to your body. Focusing on the rise and fall of each breath. The expansion, the contraction. Maybe focusing on where the breath enters the body. Noticing sensation in the nostrils as the air flows in and out. Maybe you notice the belly rising, falling, inflating, deflating. Maybe finding a deeper breath here, a deeper inhale, and a longer exhale, allowing the breath to slow down, allowing the body and the nervous system to slow down. If that speaks to you, you're welcome to use that for your intention today, or sankalpa. The intention of deep rest, of slowing down. Maybe tell yourself, I am here to rest. I am here to rest. Maybe you are learning to rest. I am learning to rest. Maybe I am grateful for rest. Allowing your body to settle. Let your weight drop into the support beneath you. Bringing the awareness to your breath. Maybe deep inhales and exhales feel nice and right. Maybe it's your regular breath pattern, your natural rhythm. Whatever it is, just notice it. Allow yourself to rest here, welcoming the stillness. Nothing to do, nothing to fix, just rest. I am here to rest. Maybe I am learning to rest. Or I am grateful for this rest. Maybe if you're ready, you start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. You can roll out your wrists or your ankles. Maybe it feels good to hug your knees in towards your chest. Or maybe some windshield wipers. Whatever you like. You don't have to choose movement. As you feel ready, we will make our way into a supported child's pose or balasana. So you're welcome to use any props, all props, no props. But in a restorative practice, we like to use the props to help us settle in and find a comfortable position so we can stay longer. So you've got options here. You can bring your knees as wide as you like. Bring that bolster in between your knees. You can have 2 blocks. If the bolster's too low, you can put your blocks underneath it. Or I like to put a block under the head of it for an inclined pillow. So then you'll go ahead and rest your belly and your chest on the bolster. Maybe you look left, maybe you look right. Maybe you rest your forehead on your hands at center. I can let you know when we're at halfway if you want to look to the other side, even out your neck. And then your arms can rest on either side of the bolster. Maybe they go underneath if you've got that incline. Maybe this doesn't feel good for whatever reason on your body. You're welcome to take a supported puppy pose instead, which would be the hips elevated, knees under hips. Knees would be hip distance apart. And then you can slide your bolster up, or you can use blocks. And I like to actually turn the bolster horizontally. Then you can rest your chest or your rib cage on the bolster, and your forehead will come to the blanket or the mat. Your arms would be parallel so that you can get a big stretch through the side body, through the armpits. The chest melts into the bolster towards the mat, and it opens up the shoulders and the chest. So either one is a good option. Just pick the one that feels best in your body today. Something that allows you to stay for a while without adjusting or moving. Maybe visualize your glutes gently pulling back and down towards your heels. You might notice some sensation through the shins, tops of the feet, maybe the ankles or the knees. Allow your eyes, the gaze to be soft. Maybe your eyes are closed. Minimal effort here. Relaxing your jaw, finding softness throughout the body. Maybe scanning the body from the crown of your head all the way down into your toes, just noticing whatever comes up. Maybe turning your head to face the other way if you like. Notice your body softening around the support. Notice the support of the props. Notice the breath, steady, easy flowing, and effortless. Maybe notice any areas that are holding tension. Allow the tension to release with each breath. Maybe visualizing the inhales going into those tight spots, expanding them, creating space. And then exhaling into them, melting the tension out. So the inhales are for lengthening, creating space. The exhales are for releasing, for softening, for letting go. If you'd like to stay here longer, please do. If you're ready to come out, take your time, pressing out of child's pose, taking any movement that you need here. Maybe it's a few cat-cows from tabletop or seated. Maybe it's stillness, sitting upright. Maybe it's coming down to your back and laying down. Whatever you need. Maybe you don't need much. That's okay too. Just make sure you check in and take the time to notice. We are going to make our way down to our backs so that we can take a supported bridge. So make sure you've got a block or two handy, and then allow yourself to come all the way down to your back, maybe hugging your knees in for a moment. Maybe some windshield wipers if you need them. And make sure your feet are hip distance apart. Press your low back into the mat. Engage your glutes. Then we're gonna lift up just enough to slide a block or 2 blocks, maybe 2 blocks next to each other for a wider foundation. You want to put the support right under your sacrum, supporting your pelvis. Now, if you feel like you need a little more traction, you're welcome to spin the block on the medium setting or stack one block on top of the other. I don't recommend trying to balance on the highest setting. It's just not very stable, but you can definitely stack a couple blocks if you'd like. Your arms can rest wherever they'd like. Maybe at your sides, maybe like cactus arms. Maybe your arms reach overhead. Doesn't matter, just pick what feels best right here, right now. Maybe softening your gaze. Maybe close your eyes or grab your eye pillow. Allow yourself to settle in. How can you rest in this pose, in this shape? Can you not only rest your body physically, but can you allow your mind to rest, tapping into the mental practice as well? Notice if you're holding tension in the face. See if you can melt the forehead, around the eyes, softening around the nose, relaxing your cheeks, maybe letting the mouth part open just a little bit, relaxing the tongue from the roof of the mouth. Unclenching the teeth, relaxing the throat, the jaw, the neck. Sending this relaxation down into the rest of your body. Let it radiate, let it ripple down. Remember, it's okay to adjust or come out and come back in. Maybe add a little movement if you ever need to wiggle your fingers or toes. You could very gently let the knees drop left and right, just barely, little baby windshield wipers, keeping the back supported by the block. If you'd like to stay here longer, go for it. If you're ready to come out, take your time. Make sure the weight is in your heels. Engage your glutes and lift up nice and slow, removing that block, setting it off to the side. Maybe coming all the way down to your back. Maybe bringing the feet wide, keeping the knees bent. Let the knees gently knock towards one another, pressing the low back down into the mat. Just resting here for a moment. Your legs could be long. You could hug your knees in towards your chest. If you want windshield wipers, take them. Give yourself a few moments here to check in, to notice. Notice your breath. Maybe one hand on the belly, one hand on the chest. Feeling the rise and fall of each breath. Maybe noticing your heart rate. Maybe sending the legs long, maybe reaching the arms overhead. You could interlace your fingers if you want and spin the palms away, finding some length through the arms, down the side body, all the way out the toes, maybe point them away. Then we're going to grab the bolster and set it on your left side. So you could drag it under your legs or just make sure it gets to your left side. We're going to use it for a supine twist. So you want it from like the hip down, and then we can adjust it if we need to. You might need blocks under it, so keep those handy just in case. But we're going to start off by keeping the left leg long and hugging the right knee in towards your chest. Maybe wrapping the hands around the shin or the hamstring behind the knee. You can have a tight grip here, or your arms can be loose, giving yourself slack. Maybe roll out the right ankle, wiggle the toes. Try to draw your shoulders down towards the mat, opening up your chest. Even though we're hanging onto the leg, can we not round the upper back? Maybe you start to drop the knee to the right, off the chest, hugging it up towards the right armpit and shoulder, squeezing it in towards your rib cage. Just noticing any difference here through the hip crease, outer hip and glute, inner thigh. As you feel ready, you can start to release your right hand. Keep hanging on with your left hand and draw that knee across, finding your bolster. Maybe tucking your left hip under so you're coming onto your left side. Try to keep that right shoulder down if you can, or you can put like a blanket under it, a rolled up blanket, a folded blanket, maybe your sweater, just so that right shoulder is supported. The palm can face down or up. You could even bend the right elbow. Take a cactus arm if you want. Your left hand is just going to relax. Maybe you're gazing straight up. Maybe you turn your head and look to the right. Soft gaze or closed eyes, whatever feels best. So allow yourself to settle in here. You can spin the bolster so that it's taller if you need to bring it up to support yourself. And can also put blocks under it, blankets, any combo you like. Allow yourself to settle in. Let your body be heavy, supported, and grounded. Let your breath move naturally. If you need more time on this side, stay as long as you like. When you're ready to come back to center, make your way there nice and slow. Before we switch sides, maybe lengthen the legs long, or you can keep the knees bent and just notice how your left side feels. Notice how your right side feels. And maybe bending the knees so you can lift the feet up and slide that bolster under your feet to the other side, moving it over to the right. We'll straighten the right leg and hug the left knee in towards the chest. Give it a good squeeze, maybe hands on the shin or hamstring, doesn't matter either way, pick what you like. You could roll out your left ankle, wiggle the toes. Notice any differences on this side, if any. Draw the shoulders down towards the mat, opening up through the chest. Maybe dropping the knee to the left off the chest, pulling it up towards your left armpit, but relaxing the shoulders into the mat, keeping the chest open. Maybe rolling out the ankle or wiggling the toes, noticing anything, bless you, anything different here. We're going to let the left arm release. You're going to hang on with your right hand and gently start to pull your knee across your body, finding your bolster to rest on, maybe tucking your right hip under as much as you need to. Maybe this side needs more support. You could do anything that left arm would like. Just try to keep that shoulder anchored down if possible. If not, can you support it with a blanket or a sweater? Maybe blocks under the bolster, lifting it up. Maybe a block on top to support any space between your leg and the prop. Use any combination you need so that you can settle in. It's worth figuring it out and taking the time so that you can rest. Maybe you're gazing up at the ceiling, closed eyes, eye pillow, or you could turn your head, looking to the left. Whatever you need on this side. Allowing the breath to spiral up and down the spine. A little bit of pressure for the internal organs here. Gentle pressure with the twist, the pose, and the breath. It's like you're gently kneading the internal organs with each breath cycle. Wringing out your spine. Maybe picturing it like a wet towel. With each breath, you're wringing it out just a little more, getting a few more drops out. Maybe picturing those drops as stress leaving the body. Maybe it's tight spots or sore spots in the body, releasing through the spine drips. Maybe it's mental stress. Acknowledge whatever it is and choose to let it go. Just keep practicing coming back to the breath. Maybe come back to your affirmation, I am here to rest. Maybe I am learning to rest, or I am grateful for this rest. Whenever you feel ready to come back to center, take your time. Maybe returning to your back. Maybe knees to chest, rocking gently, or stillness. Maybe knees stay bent with the feet on the mat. Constructive rest. Maybe send your legs long down the mat. Take a full body stretch. Maybe you need some movement like window wipers or knees to chest, rocking. Take what you need. Give yourself a few moments here to notice. Noticing the left side and the right side. Noticing each side. Noticing your breath. Maybe thoughts that are entering, coming or going. All right, guys, I'm going to offer legs up the wall today for your Shavasana. If that doesn't sound like something you want to do, you can do regular Shavasana corpse pose on your mat, supported if you like, or you can do an incline and do legs up a mini wall. So you'll put one block under one side of the bolster, and then you can just gently put your legs on it, and this will be your little mini wall to rest here. If you're going to a wall spot, you could take your blanket or your bolster. Sometimes it feels better to have a bolster underneath the lower back. And if you're wondering, how do I get so close to the wall? It takes practice. So if you put your hip against the wall, let's move this guy. So if you put your hip against the wall, touching, and then when you shimmy to the side, you can kind of scooch your butt down a little bit more, or you can use your arms to press into the wall. But when your hip is touching the wall and then you twist and bring the feet up, it brings your glutes pretty close to the wall. So if this doesn't feel comfortable, that's when you could press away from the wall a little bit and give your legs a little more space so they're not straight up. Or you can take that bolster and maybe come out. You can roll to your side and sit on it. Or if you're comfortable, you can push up and then place that bolster under your low back and then try and see if it feels okay with the space between you and the wall. If that's good, stay. If it's not, you'll want to roll to your side and then sit on the bolster, placing your hip against the wall, and then come up. Just depends on what you need today. Sometimes legs up the wall isn't what you need, right? So pick what sounds good. We've got lots of wall space. And if you ever need to come out, that's okay. You almost had it. Good job. Now you got the plant poking you. We'll move him out of the way. How's that feel? Okay. If you're comfortable, you can close your eyes or just keep your gaze soft here. Maybe reflecting on your practice as you get as comfortable as you can. Allow your body to rest, relaxing into the stillness, supported by the props, maybe the wall. Maybe noticing if you feel grounded or heavy. There is nothing to do, nowhere to be. Nothing to fix or analyze. Just you and your breath. Let the breath be natural. And notice as it flows in and out. Notice if you feel calm, rested, supported. Maybe a sense of clarity. Just notice. Keeping your eyes closed or your gaze soft. Maybe begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Maybe rolling out your wrists or your ankles. If you're at the wall, you could bend your knees and roll onto your side. If you're on your back, you can stay here or roll onto your side, whatever feels right. Maybe staying here Or maybe finding an easy seat. Just allowing yourself to be here just as you are. Noticing how you feel once again. Maybe calm, rested, supported. Maybe something else. Whatever it is, I invite you to take it with you. You don't have to leave it on your mat. You can take it with you throughout your day and continue the practice. Thank you guys for joining me today. If you have any questions, please let me know. Take your time getting out of here. No rush.